It's the story of two astronomers who make the discovery of a lifetime that a giant comet is going to hit planet Earth and wipe out pretty much all life. And neither one of them are remotely prepared for the crazy media, political, social roller coaster they're about to go on.
Oh, I heard there's an asteroid or a comet or something that you don't like the looks of. Tell me about it, and then tell me why you're telling me about it. You got 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
That's you, Doc. Go.
Madam President, approximately 36 hours ago, PhD candidate Kate DiBiase here discovered a very large comet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I mean, the Oval Office was very exciting because that was Meryl Streep kind of at the center of it, and then this coterie of incredible actors around her. And it just felt like one of the hallmark scenes of the movie. And we had like 3 days to shoot it. That's the best. So you're not rushing, you have great actors, there's room to improvise, you're gonna get every angle. So that was great. We just settled in that Oval Office and just enjoyed ourselves.
I think the Oval Office scene, it's a very three-dimensional scene, as opposed to being on characters and talking heads. I'm just moving around the room, picking up moments of behavior, moments of intellectual curiosity, moments of horror. Meryl Streep, the president, is looking at Kate's combat boots. You're able to, just by that one tiny glance and the one shot of the boot, you're able to tell a whole lot about Kate and also about the president. Just her curiosity and condescending nature. And you can tell so much in so little time, so efficiently.
You're breathing weird. It's making me uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to articulate the science.
I know, but it's like so stressful. I like trying to like listen to
I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation. I'm trying to articulate it the best I can. I don't know.
Madam President, this comet is what we call a planet killer.
That is correct.
Adam was like, it'd be so great if we could have something that I could actually play for the actors early on. That first piece, I called it the Overture to Logic and Knowledge. It was a piece where there were strings and a celesta, which is kind of a bell-like instrument, and felt almost like stellar in that kind of a sense, so almost kind of sparkling. But then there were these sort of darker undertones. But ultimately, there was a very different feeling that the movie, I think, and the music needed to have. And that was this feeling of a bombastic kind of insanity at times, you know? There was this feeling of almost like losing control. And there was also a feeling that we had to push and push and push, this feeling of kind of anxiety.
When Kate and Randall start off on their journey to try to warn the world, I think it's just extremely anxiety-inducing and upsetting because you want to just scream to everybody, you know, that this is coming. And the president tries to downplay it because she's afraid of the midterms.
You know, it's a very interesting scene because eventually they start to understand the magnitude of the problem, but it doesn't tie into their political agenda at the moment. And that's something that I think from a scientific perspective, he doesn't understand whatsoever. They keep trying to re-articulate the probability of what's gonna happen to you know, humanity, and they keep changing the percentage of probability of, you know, the apocalypse. You know, they're negotiating it.
So how certain is this?
There's 100% certainty of impact.
Please, don't say 100%.
Can we just call it a potentially significant event?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it isn't potentially going to happen. It is going to happen.
Exactly, 99.78% to be exact.
Oh, great. Okay, so it's not 100%.
Well, scientists never like to say 100%.
Call it 70% and let's move on.
But it's not even close to 70%.
You cannot go around saying to people that there's a 100% chance that they're gonna die. You know, it's just nuts. And we should get some of our scientists on this, you know, no offense, but you're just two people that walked in here with
Dr. Oglethorpe.
Dr. Ogilvy.
I've been head of planetary defense at NASA for 15 years. And Dr. Mendy is a tenured professor of astronomy at Michigan State, where Ms. DiBiase is a doctoral candidate.
Good.
I'm sorry, did you say Michigan State?
Exactly. They have an excellent astronomy department.
Yes. Come on, bro.
You kidding? You want to see my fucking SAT scores?
Okay, let's bottom line this. What is this going to cost me? You know? What's the ask here?
President Orlean is a woman who is a product of her time and her culture. She's someone who can't help being the way that she is, which is sort of horrible.
Putting her in a room with Jonah Hill, who basically would go off the cuff and go in different directions as an improvisational actor, was sort of awe-inspiring.
Everyone knows Jonah's like a master improviser, just so comfortable, can improvise all day long. So the most exciting moment was when I saw, oh, Meryl can go all day long too. And the two of them are obviously in a lot of scenes together. So that's just been pure enjoyment.
Economic collapse, loose nukes, car exhaust killing the atmosphere, rogue AI.
Drought, famine, plague,
Everything.
alien invasion, population growth, hole in the ozone.
Jason, hey, read the room for once in a while.
Sorry, Mom.
I honestly don't think there's good and bad people. I think there's just wiring and circumstance. You're wired a certain way, and then you're put in certain circumstances. So I don't even think he's a bad guy. I just think there's people, because of those things, that don't feel like they need to look outside of their existence to feel anything.
I'm sorry, who is she?
Who the fuck are you? Aren't you her son?
I'm the fucking chief of staff boy with the dragon tattoo, so I'm doing fine.
He worships the mother instead of the father, where some of these other people you might be imagining like they're kind of trying to be like the father. And then that transferred into an attraction, maybe like a weird attraction also.
I can't think of another president that I'd ever want to see in
You
Playboy.
know how many?
So he's gonna try and like emulate her. She's like the hero figure. So I was like, he's gotta get a Birkin.
And I had no idea what a Birkin bag was. And I'm like, what is it? It's like, well, it's this really stylized kind of like man purse. The more that Jonah kept carrying the Birkin bag in scenes, the more it kept making me laugh. So if you see in the cut, there are actually shots where the Birkin bag gets its own single.
You do understand that this is an apocalyptic event. This is a large celestial body heading towards our planet at speeds that...
Dr. Mendy, I hear you. I hear you. You should be proud.
Thank you.
Taking it very seriously, taking it straight in the heart.
I'm so glad to hear that. I am so glad to hear that. You have no
Hey,
idea.
gang, obviously everything we talked about in here, super classified, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for dressing up.
I think with this movie, it's for all the people out there who just have been living in this crazy ecosystem that we live in this country and getting bombarded with crazy screaming heads, and who kind of in a way want to laugh at that.
It's ironic in this time of mass communication where there's been this explosion of the ability of people to reach each other that they don't.
Whether, us as a species can evolve to truly focus on what is ultimately the most important issue that's ever faced humanity in the history of civilization. So it had a lot of stakes to it, and I just knew I needed to be a part of this film. I knew it brought up incredibly interesting conversation of where we're at this particular moment in time.
I think making such a difficult thing to talk about, like climate change, lighthearted and funny, pointing out the embarrassing truths in all of us, it kind of leaves this blameless place where we can actually look at an issue and laugh at and discuss the issue instead of pointing fingers at each other.